Welcome to the Almond Brief, brought to you by the team at Harris Wolf Almonds, your trusted source for the latest global almond market trends. Whether you're a grower or buyer, we've got the insights that matter to you. The goal of this podcast is to deliver information in a clear, concise, and speedy manner. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. We love hearing from you. Without further delay, let's jump right in.
Welcome back to the Almond Brief, brought to you by Harris Wolf Almonds. I'm Chase Higginbotham, here with our head of sales, Kevin Souza.
How's it going?
Kevin, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Kevin, it's been a busy week last week. You're a bit of a road warrior, traveling the world. You're over in Europe for an industry conference. Just got back, so now you're here. We splashed a little bit of water in your face, slid you a cup of coffee, and you're here to bring the folks all the information that the reports, the estimates brought us this week.
A little jet lag still, but happy to be here. Nowhere else in the world I'd rather be than here with you, Chase.
We love having you here, so we appreciate it. This week, pretty busy news week for the industry. Typically, it's just a position report. On May 12th, the USDA Subjective Estimate was released, and then the following day, the April position report. So we can dive into the estimate first. I think that's what everybody's most interested in. Everybody wants to know what that upcoming crop looks like. You want to walk us through the numbers and kind of let us know how that's being digested by the industry?
Yeah, so the number came out, and the subjective estimate came out at 2.8 billion pounds, which was a little bit on the high side, but as far as the marketing side goes, it was within the realm of expectation. There were some other independent reports that had previously come out, one at 266, one at 273, another one at 28, and so the subjective coming in at 28 is right there. Like I said, probably a little bit on the high side of some expectation, but not enough to really make a factor in the market. It's a pretty much a neutral number. I think if we would have saw the number coming higher than that, 285, 29, we would have saw some downward pressure on the market. And this is for 2025 crop is what we're, as far as the marketing goes, the 2024 crop's pretty much set in stone. And then if it would have come in at a 265 or low, then we probably would have saw some upward pressure on new crop pricing. So like I said, pretty much estimate, business as usual, didn't really change much. What do the growers think about this?
Well, as you mentioned, that is at the higher end of expectation from what we're hearing from our growers, our team that's out in the field, and other members of the California almond industry. That 2.8 is the higher end of expectation. Most people are probably closer to a 2.6, 2.7 estimate, but regardless, that's going to be the number we're going to work off of for the next month or two until the objective comes out in July. But, until then, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, another thing with this estimate, at this trade show we were at last week with the whole industry there, lots of talk was on what's the pricing going to be on next year's crop. And there seems to be a little bit of a standoff where buyers are wanting it to be about a 20-cent discount to where prices are today. Handlers in California are saying it's got to be either at parity or a premium. And no one really budged. So we're kind of at a standstill. But as we get closer, we'll start to see things fall into place, and then we should be doing good.
Very good. So with that, kind of wrapping up the estimates, I think we'll move into the position report, talk about the April numbers. Looking at the position report, kicking off the crop receipts. We talked about this last month. This time of year, receipts don't amount to a whole lot. Everything's just trickling in. There were 8 million pounds of almonds received in the month of April. That moved the number to a 2.71 billion total crop. In the big picture, does this have any impact on the industry now?
No.
With that, I would say we move on to some more important numbers.
Agreed.
Moving on from the 2024 crop receipts, we talked about they don't have much of an impact on the market right now, but we will pivot into the topics that will have an impact on the market, and that is the shipments for the month and, of course, new sales. So, Kevin, do you want to walk us through the data and let us know how that kind of impacts the market?
Yeah, let's just start breaking down the numbers, and then we'll get into it. So, yeah, shipments came in at 241 million, which was actually higher than expectation. The industry expected somewhere between 220 and 230, kind of where we have been historically. So coming in at 241 was obviously above expectation. And the ultimate outcome of that is we're continuing to get our carryout down. We're still trending at a sub 500 million pound carryout, which is good. That's where we need to be. Sales 192, while kind of on the surface, they look a little off, especially compared to last year and some of the previous months. When you look at the numbers, that's actually the second highest sales month for April that we've had in around 5 years. April's historically a low sales month, so that 192 was actually better than what most people thought as well. Talking to some buyers and people in the industry, they thought 180 was going to be a decent number. So the 192 being strong. Also, gets our carry out down as these things are going out. And two, we'll just keep things moving.
No, that is a good point. You can't just look at that sales number at face value. You got to dig into the numbers and realize it actually is a pretty good performing month.
Mm-hmm.
So.
One other thing that we probably should touch on is the domestic market shipments were off again. So off another 17% this month. We're keeping an eye on what's going on there, why they're down. That could be a little bit of a concern going forward, but luckily the export shipments are definitely they're picking up the slack. They're making up for that, and everything is still moving in a good pace. Ultimately, that low carryout that we roll right into 2025 crop.
Yeah. And we touched on that last month as well. The month of March had some pretty low domestic shipping numbers. And so for the second month in a row, those numbers are down. So just one more thing to keep an eye on. But as mentioned, the overall shipping number is still strong. The export has come in and picked up the slack. Really, that overall number is what's important to us. As long as almonds are moving, almonds are shipping, and getting that carry out down.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. And looking forward in the next couple months, supply is running out, as we see with these big shipment and sales months. Inventory is getting tight, and with still buyers in the market every day needing to buy, it's keeping this thing firm. It's keeping this moving. And that's setting us up to be in a really good spot going into the 2025 crop with even with a 2.8 potential crop and a 450 million pound carryout. We're at a good equilibrium with these numbers and where we're at to really just keep this momentum going and transition right from the 2024 crop into the 2025 crop.
No, and all those fundamentals have brought us to a much brighter spot in the almond industry than we've seen the last couple of years. There were a few bleak years there, depressed prices. And now it feels like we have a little bit of momentum back on our side. Mm-hmm. Carryouts in balance. The crop year over year has been manageable for the last couple of years. And, that's all been reflected in the price rises over the last few months and throughout the season. So,
no, absolutely. For now, the days of the 3 billion pound crops and an 800 million pound carryout seem to be gone. So it's very nice to have an optimistic feeling going into a year that we haven't had in a while. So it's good. We're in a good spot.
So
that's right.
It's just all about maintaining that balance. I think that wraps up kind of all the data and reviewing the estimate. And then, of course, all of the position report information that came out. So before we sign off, I just want to mention that Harris Wolf is going to have our grower appreciation luncheon on June 19th out at the Harris Ranch. We'll be sending out invites to our growers, industry friends, and of course, potential growers that we're looking to work with in the 2025 crop year. So
yeah, it'll be a good lunch.
It's going to be good. Love to see everybody there. With that, thank you all for joining us. If you enjoyed the information here, please like, subscribe, click that notification bell. Kevin, I think we're out.
All right. Thanks, Chase.
Thank you.